Hello, this is Matthias from Mandoshans here, and you're listening to Brutally Delicious Podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hey, nice to meet
Hey,
you.
yeah, what's up?
Where are you located today? You're in Finland?
Yep, I'm in Finland. I'm here in a small town called Seinäjoki, where I live.
Oh, nice. Is it
Yeah,
still 24/7 dark over there, or are you getting
yeah, it's really dark outside. That's why my video is like this.
when does it start getting halfway decent?
Nah, it's actually getting better. It's like until maybe like 7 in the evening. It's light outside, so this is pretty okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
getting better. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there. It was a couple of weeks back. It was still like really early, really dark, but now it goes fast now until like midsummer. Then,
Are you still getting snow?
yeah,
Oh,
sadly.
really?
Yeah, but it's gonna get better this week. So it was actually we got like this much snow in the weekend maybe, but they're like telling us that it's gonna be really warm. It's gonna be like no jacket weather in the end of the
Oh,
week.
nice.
Yeah. So we're getting
Sorry.
there.
I know we didn't come talk about the weather, but
Yeah, no.
oh, and oceans. Let's start here. You guys have been around for a long time, right? Like 30 years. You ever imagine you'd
Yeah.
still be doing this, releasing relevance records?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because there was like uh I think it was like 18 years without new music in between or something like that after the first four albums, and then band quit and then came back. And it was, yeah, in 2020 when we released the Cosmic World Wonder album. It had been 18 years. I couldn't believe it, you know. I've been around with the band since, even though I haven't been in the band since the beginning, I was there, you know, from the beginning. I knew the guys there from my hometown. They've been friends since the 90s. So I never thought that, that I'm gonna see another Ocean's album, and I never knew that it was gonna be me on it.
Nice. So the regeneration theory, um, I think you guys are melding a lot more elements than in the past, right? Of different genres of music.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. This is you can set sort of. Oh, sorry, my alarm. Yeah, yeah, we can actually feel that it's sort of how to say, like sort of like a mix of everything we've done so far. We had back in the albums in the early 2000s. There was some electronic parts. Now the electronic parts did a little bit like of a comeback on this album as well. We were also using a lot of those like 90s black metal elements and a little bit of everything, yeah, on this new album. So it's definitely kind of interesting.
So how do you approach songwriting then? Is there anything off limits when you begin? Like, hey, we can throw some electronic beats in here, or do you just kind of let the creativity flow and whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, it's mostly been like whatever happens, happens. But on this album, we actually decided that we want to do something, challenge us a little bit and do something different. We made two albums that were kind of blackish extreme metal albums, and we felt that it was time to experiment a little bit and do something interesting. And Timo, the guitar player, he said that he wanted to also change his riffs and not do what he usually do a little bit. And I think those kinds of riffs, they sort of also inspired Antti, our keyboard player, to put some more electronic stuff onto those riffs. Also, I think it's 5 tracks are done by our keyboard player Antti, and those tend to get a little bit more lean a little bit more to the electronic side since he's a big fan of that kind of music, and working like he's got a fully electronic bands himself. He's got his DJ business. He's got all this kind of thing. So yeah. This is what happens.
Um, I just lost my train of thought totally. Oh, I know what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Why The Alchemist? What was the reason to put The
Yeah,
Alchemist
there
to?
was actually no reason for it. I didn't notice it myself because it's been a book that I've been reading when I was younger. I got it as a present back in 2006 for my birthday, and I read it a couple of times back then, and I really liked it. I read it maybe last time like 13, 14 years ago, something like that, and it's been in my shelf. I didn't touch it, but this album, I've started writing a lot of about sort of like uh, that's why it's called the Regeneration Itinerary. That's because of it's sort of like a not I wouldn't call it a diary, but it's sort of like a book about what's been going on for the last 1.5 years. And when we actually started making the deluxe CD box, we were thinking into what kind of like extra, these small trinkets we want to put in it. And I
Mhm.
we came up with this kind of like a coin that has one black side and one like white side that you can flip, and to make decisions. If you want to go like take the dark road or the light
Right.
road, sort of like a guide. And when we started talking with Season of Mist about this coin, it just like hit me like this. Oh, this is like from the like yeah, like the stones from the Alchemist. This is like, oh, how didn't I see this coming? And then I was starting to think about the stories and everything, and it felt like that the whole story is sort of and I wouldn't say like that I copied it, but it felt like that the things that I have been going through for the last 1.5 years have been, or maybe even more, maybe the last 2 years have actually been similar than in The Alchemist, and I started drawing parallels to these stories, and yeah, and as I said, I read it before, and it was kind of like a comfort book to me. When I needed some kind of like guidance, or I needed some kind of like how to say like direction. I
Mm.
read the book, and now it seems it like manifested itself like in my subconscious. So it's kind of strange. I never intended to base it on it. It just subconsciously I did.
Is there a message or something you want your fans to take away from after listening to it?
Well, I'm not, I don't really like to start preaching about stuff, and even thinking myself as a teacher in that kind of, or a teacher or a preacher in that kind of sense. But if somebody reads it and gets some kind of the same thing that I got out from The Alchemist, I would be happy. And also, if I can learn, like like get somebody to avoid some potholes here and there,
Right.
then I would be, all worth it.
Is writing this heavy music cathartic for you?
Yeah, usually it is, and especially this album. This was, as I've told already during this interview, that I've been going through quite a lot of difficult stuff for the last 1.5, 2 years, and this definitely helped me on the road, and it's been yeah, it's been like how to say, like yeah, cathartic. I said it. It's definitely helping me. At least some people, they like to write things about on Facebook. I can channel my thoughts into this instead. This is how I work through things. So
Did you ever
definitely.
worry you were too personal in your lyrics?
Sorry.
Did you ever worry that maybe you were too vulnerable, too personal in your
Yeah,
lyrics?
yeah, definitely. This album is. I'm not sure if I crossed some kind of personal limit here, because I usually try to avoid being too personal with things, but then then again, it's sometimes it the pen writes what it writes. It's I cannot really so yeah, I cannot control what comes out of me. If I've never been that kind of person that says like, okay, I'm gonna write about war. okay,
Right.
I'll start writing about war and then doing something. It has also all very like every time I write something, it has to be connected to myself. I need to have experience in it. I need to, be interested in the subject. I need to be invested in it in some kind of way. And on this album, I'm all in. It's
So when you're all in and you're dealing with some difficult things in your past, does it bother you to play those live and revisit those moments again? Because that's kind of like
yeah,
scraping a scab, right?
exactly. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of time will tell. One of the second single that's because in this story there's a lot of like I think it was if you got the briefing there was this the like duality in human nature. There's a dark versus light, there's a good versus evil, there's all these kind of elements, and yeah, this definitely, and it's a road, it's a journey, and there's ups and there's downs on this road. And for example, the second single, the Prophetical Mercury Implement, that's where the character in the lyrics when it's at a really, really, really low point. It's and but there's in the end there's like a glimpse of light as well. There's a little bit of hope towards the end, or like a realization that you can change things around, that there's that you from here you can only go up. So
Right.
but yeah, but that song I'm sort of a little bit scared about playing if it will go back into these low points.
Right. I didn't know
Doing
how it
that
was going to be
wrong.
like revisiting every night because that could
Yeah,
get
exactly.
right.
Yeah, and that song for sure we will have to play it at least on all these the release shows and probably for some years to come. So so yeah, but it's my own fault. But then there are songs, there are songs that are they are kind of hopeful. They are at a point where things have changed. They are that can actually help you through stuff as well. And there are also like these kind of reflective stuff, like Inertia. The first single was that's just like that's stuff I'm dealing with all the time. So it's then that will probably always be there. So it's just a part of me that I'm just like acknowledging that like this is what it is.
Right. I
Yeah.
talk to a lot of people doing this, and we talk about this quite often. And I think when you get to the point where you've pushed beyond your comfort zone and out of your
Yeah.
element, it becomes more real, but it also becomes more organic and more honest, right? And I think that
Yeah.
kind of resonates with people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've always been a big believer in that thing, and also some of the my albums that I really like. They are actually these albums that have substance in them. It's you can feel that now also even in the metal scene that was kind of honest, and you spoke what you were feeling, what you were thinking, what your opinions on stuff were. That was what I liked about metal. But now there's a lot of these like things that's going on in the pop world as well. You take just like a shallow subject and you go with it, and then it's like a factory sometimes.
Yes.
And those albums for me, they can have hooks, they can have good things, they can have nice melodies, they can have brutal riffs that I like, but still I will get tired of the album after a while. It will go in here and out there, it's and maybe a song or two I will listen to some years later, but it will not stick. So all these like actually telling people what you believe in and what you stand for, that will resonate with people, as you said.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think there's also a change in the music business too, where people are writing for attention spans now too, right? So you're restructuring the songs where you may not get that nice, cool intro that brings you into your song because the algorithm is what, 15 seconds and people don't listen anymore. So if you don't get
Yeah,
them on like a chorus or something big,
yeah,
they're not along for the ride. But I think that's all the wrong way to do it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. This is stupid nowadays with the TikTok culture that that if it's not interesting in the first, I think even TikTok is like 7 seconds or something like that. If it's not interesting, then swipe. So yeah, for example, what we've done so far on both the singles on this album, the intro is even yeah, they're beyond 7 seconds. They're even beyond 15 seconds.
Yeah. Do you worry
Yeah.
about then do you worry about then staying above the noise with something like that? Because there's so many people competing for all this space, right? There's only so many ears. And if people are doing that kind of thing, do you even put any kind of concern into maybe you should do that as well, or are you just writing and then
Yeah, we don't
or
care
don't get
about
it?
that. This I don't think it really applies to this kind of like marginalized music that we do. I think here people still they are gonna buy the vinyl. They wanna listen to the and Oceans have always, well, at least since the comeback, have been like a vinyl band. We sell way more vinyl than CDs, and this is really cool. So I think people are in for for the whole experience. They want this kind of concept album. They don't mind that it has half a minute's synth
Right.
intros, outros. They're That's part of what they're actually looking for. But finding new listeners could be a problem then because you get on a nice playlist or something on Spotify and you have a half-minute intro with like
Right.
minimalistic synth.
Swiping left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Swipe left. Yeah.
I guess I don't know, but yeah, it's terrible. And so that takes away from I think you guys are creating the record and it is it's sort of a concept record, but you also have to take some time to sequence it correctly, right? Because you
Yeah,
want the flow and the ebbs and all that journey to come along with it, don't you?
yeah,
And that's
exactly.
missing, I think, a lot when you start doing this
Yeah.
5 second intro or start with the chorus bullshit.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, and also I think this album is definitely one of those that you want to sit down with the album cover as well. You want to sit down with the lyrics. You want to, this is yeah. So just going off and like the first song and like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then
Right.
yeah, it's not that kind of record.
What's the plan to take this on the road?
Yeah. Well, we are actually on Thursday. We're having the first gig that we're gonna play with some new stuff. So we're gonna play the two singles here in Finland. Oh no, not Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. Yeah, because it's Easter, but yeah, it's Friday. But yeah. So yeah, that's when we're starting. We have a small Finnish tour. We got some decent festivals and during the summer, and then the end of the year. That's when the touring is starting. The real like full on touring.
Right. Ah, good for you.
Yeah,
And if fans want to find you, you guys are all over social media, I'm guessing, or
yeah,
no? Yeah.
yeah. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're not on TikTok though.
Right.
Leave that for the people that are at least 20 years younger than we.
Right. And lastly, then, before we go, I
Yeah.
have that was the end of my questions. First of all, did I miss anything you wanted to cover?
No, I think I'm good.
I have this little sort of questionnaire, and we were just talking about the short culture, but I'm guilty of it as well. People love small, short things, so I do these random questions, have nothing to do with the band, just kind of
Yeah.
fun. If you're game for that, and then
Yeah, yeah.
okay, cool. It won't take long, and if you want to just pass, we can pass. But I'm not sure if you're familiar with the James Lipton TV show that was popular in the US where he interviewed actors and he had like the same 10 questions at the end of
Nah.
it. So I didn't make them up, but they're kind of cool and
Yep.
people seem to like them, right? What's your favorite word?
Oh.
What's your least favorite word?
Oh, can't come up with anything right now.
All right.
No
What
idea.
what turns you on creatively?
Seems like not sleeping enough. Turns on my creativity.
What turns you off creatively?
Stress.
What sound or noise do you love?
Yeah. What do I like? Now, right now, my favorite sound is nothing. I've been touring so much lately, so it's
Quiet.
the absence of sound is is my favorite right now.
What's your favorite curse word?
Mm. Favorite curse word. I like something short and effective, so that would be the Polish word kurwa. That's you can use it wherever. That's my favorite one.
Fair enough. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Mm. I'm kind of bummed out that I didn't go, and I was actually gonna go and become an electrician. So yeah, and do working with electronics. Yeah, that would be something I would like still.
Did I ask you what noise or sound you hate?
No, you didn't.
All right, let's do that one.
Oh, when you nails on a chalkboard. That's my that's the worst.
And what profession would you not like to do?
Working as a cashier in a supermarket would be a nightmare.
And then lastly, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Slayer.
That's the best one I've gotten yet. That's beautiful. And I know I said I had no more, but I got two more for you. Ready?
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? It should not be that
No,
hot
no,
dog.
no, it's not. No, it's not a
It has
sandwich.
to be. Why? What's your hang up? The little piece of bread that holds them together?
Yeah, isn't it like more like a roll?
I think the definition is anything in two slices of bread has to be a sandwich. But I'll,
Yeah.
I'll let you go. See where you are on this one. Is cereal a soup?
Oh. Yeah. I think
It
cereal is
has
a
to
soup.
be, right?
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
And, sorry, I took you way down a rabbit hole here, but I like to have some fun at the end. So
Yeah, exactly.
hope that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that was good.
And hopefully you get over this side sometime soon.
Yeah, really hope so that we can have some concerts over there. We haven't had any American shows during the last 30 years, so it would be cool to come
Yeah, I
when.
know now is probably not a good time to travel, but hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, that let's see about the visas, but yeah.
Be
Let's
well.
hope we can do it. Yep.
All right. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers. Bye.